Hi, this is Dr. Cairns with a brief lecture for Week 6, High Performance People Management. First, our review of a roadmap where we're going, our checklist of the progress we're making against critical thinking, observing behavior, and applying the principles and theories, tools, and practices that we've been learning. Again, my desire this course results in a positive, life-changing experience for you. We're heading down the home stretch. This week's discussion will focus on how leaders make a difference, and for that I've chosen an example of Douglas Conant, who was appointed the president and CEO of Campbell Soup Company and served as the CEO from 2001 to 2011. And you'll see pictured down in the lower right-hand corner the map of the United States and a circle around one of the states there, and that happens to be New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey originally. And believe it or not, the Campbell Soup plant was just 10 minutes from my office in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And the sad state of affairs is I never knew Campbell Soup had a headquarters there while I was working. So it just shows you there's a lot in our own backyard we're unaware of. But I just want to talk a little bit about his leadership. And we're going to introduce to you an idea cast that you'll listen to an interview with him. But he was the 11th leader of this company that's been around for 140 years. And that's a lot to say about any company to have that kind of lasting, especially in a highly competitive industry. But under his leadership, he was able to turn around a decline in market value and the fact that employees were not feeling engaged. And that's actually an issue today of employee engagement. So hopefully you're going to hear some things that will resonate with you as to thinking about what are some practical things to do that will help engage employees wanting to really work for you. And so one of the successes, though, of Campbell's was associated with what he called winning in the workplace, then winning in the marketplace, and then winning in the community, and doing it all with integrity. He wrote a book called Touch Points, and you see listed here his leadership model. And take a look at this because you're going to get a chance to examine that in light of some of the other leadership models in your text. But let me lay a little bit of a backdrop that all wasn't rosy while he was the CEO. Their plant, their oldest plant that was built in 1947 was closed under his leadership, and it was in Sacramento. There were over 2,000 jobs in the local community that were affected by it. The production that was done at that plant was shifted and parceled out to plants in North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas, and obviously the full-time employees lost their jobs there. And the reasons for the closure, quite frankly, were the decline of sales of soup in the United States. The other plants had been more recently built, so that meant the technology had broader capacity, was more effective. And so you could say technology had an impact on the jobs there and the loss of those. And then focused on how do we have sustainable products, going green, new packaging. And so the closure of this plant, the business reasons were very clear. And also it was the highest production cost per case of any plant in the network. And so it was closed under the leadership of Douglas Conant. And I say that because I want you to think about that as you listen to keeping employees engaged in tough times. And there's a link to the telecast and the story there. And I want you to listen to the Harvard Business Review IdeaCast interview with him, and then respond to those 4 questions in the forum discussion and engage in that as well. And in particular, also look at his leadership style. Is it an example of servant leadership? And if so, is his example of servant leadership and the definition there different than a Christian worldview? Is there any kind of difference, or is it the same? So that's it for week 6 coming up. In our forum discussion, there's no assigned reading in our organization behavior text. Make sure you complete the quiz for chapters 15 to 17. Looking ahead, next week your organization diagnosis paper is due, as well as strength finders. My virtual hours every Tuesday, noon to 1. Should you need me, no appointment necessary. We continue to daily make mention of you in our prayers. Take care and have a blessed week.